Do you know the food that you eat is as important as your body's ability to get rid of waste and the things that the body do not need? Stay with your lady Salome in this video as I talk about what is constipation, its effects on the body, and ways that you could improve constipation. Stay tuned. Hello, lovely viewers. Welcome to Ezra Wellness, where you learn proven ways to healthy living. This is your lady Salome Adamako. I'm a nurse by profession. If you want to learn proven ways to healthy living, subscribe to my channel. When you do, click on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my educative videos. Today, I'm talking about constipation. This is the last of my video in how to optimize your digestive health. You know, when it comes to the digestive system, it has four basic functions: ingestion of food, the breaking down of food, absorption of food, and then the excretion of waste from the body. We talk about the ingestion of food. We talk about chewing. We talk about the breaking down and the absorption of food. We talk about hydrochloric acid. Most of the absorption will take place in the small intestines. So when the small intestines absorb the food, whatever is not able to absorb moves on to the large intestines. Digestion continues, the bacteria eat some of the fibers and the things in there, and some of the bacteria will mix with the rest of the waste food, and then it will come out as stool. That is where we go to the bathroom to poop it out. So what I want to say today is that it's very important that you poop. The same way you are careful with the food that you're putting into your body, I want you to be that conscious of the fact that you go to the bathroom every single day. Is that necessary? What is constipation? Constipation is the lack of daily bowel movement, straining when you move your bowels, feeling that your bowel has not been emptied after you poop. Also, if you go to the bathroom and you pass hard stools, that means you're constipated. And then if you have any discomfort around moving your bowels or pooping, that is considered constipation. Anybody eating 1 to 3 square meals a day, you are supposed to poop 1 to 3 times a day. You say, you what? Yes. If you eat 3 square meals a day, you are supposed to poop at least once a day. And I know some people could go for maybe 3-4 days without pooping. That is not good, because all the toxic waste that the body has processed from the 3 days that you've eaten, everything stays in the large intestines. And if you don't poop, the carbohydrates will ferment in there, oils will rancid, proteins will putrefy, and these toxic will stay in the large intestine. And you know, the colon, there's still stuff that is reabsorbed back into the bloodstream. So this toxic, once it stayed in there longer, it gets reabsorbed back into the bloodstream. You're making faces. Yes, I understand. Is that gross? But that is what happens if you do not poop. So from today on, I want you to take pooping very seriously. So what are the effects if you do not poop? If you do not poop, it could lead to inability to lose weight. People who are struggling to lose weight, if you're not pooping, please look in that area. If you start to poop better, it will help with your weight loss journey. Also, it could lead to fatigue. It could lead to headache. It could lead to brain fog. It could lead to bad breath. It could lead to bad body odor. It could lead to sinus issues. And if you don't poop, it also alters the absorption of some vitamins, because the large intestines is responsible for absorbing vitamins. So if you do not poop, you cannot absorb vitamins like your calcium, your iron, your copper, your zinc. So if you're lacking in any of these vitamins, please check how you are pooping. Also, if this issue continues for a long time, that you don't continue to poop, the colon, which is the large intestine, could lose the muscle tone in there, because you know things are sitting there too long and holding the place up, and it could lead to swelling, inflammation, issues like diverticula, which is pouching that comes into the large intestines. Studies have shown not pooping could be a contributing factor to that disease. So because of these things and many more, Please, 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 viewer, you want to make sure you are pooping. So, what causes constipation in the first place? Constipation, number one cause is the food that you eat. Because you know the digestive system, you put the food in, you break it down. What is not able to break down comes out as waste. So if you're putting bad food in the body, that the body cannot break it down in the first place, then the body will have difficulty excreting that same food. So food like your processed foods, when you eat food that have bad oils like your seed oils, the trans fats, these foods, the small intestines cannot break it down and absorb it. And if it cannot do that job, it will pass it on to the large intestines. And the same way the small intestine cannot break it down, the large intestine will find it difficult to excrete it. So those foods could contribute to constipation. Also, food sensitivities, food allergies. If you're allergic to certain foods and you eat them all the time, it could contribute to constipation. Foods like lactose could contribute to constipation, or in some people, it could also contribute to diarrhea. So lactose, you want to be careful with that. Leaky gut, the condition where your small intestines is more permeable than it's supposed to be, could lead to constipation issues. Also, lack of fiber in your diet, which because of processed food and because of the food that we eat, there is a lot of people that we are not having enough fiber in our diet. And if you don't have enough fiber, it could lead to constipation. Also, if you're not drinking enough water, it could lead to constipation, because water, our stool is made up of about 75% water. So if you don't drink enough, it will lead to constipation. Also, if you don't have enough bacteria in your large intestines, it could also lead to constipation, because the stool is made up of waste product and bacteria. So if you don't have enough bacteria, it could lead to constipation. Also, stress. You know, stress comes up everywhere that you look. Any disease condition, there is stress. Constipation is also one of them. And constipation, if you having stress, it will slow things down, especially your GI, and will lead to constipation. Lack of magnesium could also lead to constipation. Also, people taking prescription drugs, some drugs like your pain medication, your oxycodones, some drugs like antidepressants could slow down the digestive system, and these all could lead to constipation. And there are so many other things out there. So if you are not moving your bowels, like I've said, what constipation was, please, I want you to take it that serious. And now let's look at some of the treatments that you could do for constipation. One, we talk about the diet. I talked about food sensitivity and the lactose intolerance and processed food. So please, if you have issue with constipation, you want to eliminate processed foods. And when we talk about processed food, we talk about all fast foods, all those foods, the fried foods, your donuts, your things out there, you want to eliminate them. Those have no fiber in them, and if you already have constipation issues, you don't want to eat them. Also, wheat. I'm talking about your flour, I'm talking about bread, I'm talking about crackers, I'm talking about all those kind of foods. You say, Salome, but some bread, they say have fiber in it. Yes, but these bread fiber have been so grind up that it's not actually fiber anymore. So if you eat those things, it do not help to improve constipation. So you want to eliminate those foods and see if it would help to improve your constipation. Also, lactose. I'm talking about your cheese, your milk, and those foods, you want to eliminate them and see if that would improve your constipation. And how would you know? You take these foods out of your diet for 1 month to 6 weeks and see how your bowel will behave. If it improves, great. Then you know you have to stay away from them. Or if you want to try to bring them back again, you could do them. Reintroduce them and see how your bowel will behave. If you go right back to constipation, then you know you cannot eat those foods. Also, I want you to introduce more vegetable into your diet. That is what we say here at Ezra Wellness. Vegetables have insoluble fibers that will help the bacteria in your large intestines to eat them, to bring up the good bacteria. And these good bacteria will help you to be able to have good poops so that these things will come out of your body. So you want to eat a lot of vegetables, add some fruits to it, but more vegetables. Then you could also introduce some foods like your beans, also have fiber in them. You have your yams, you have your plantains, you have your yucca root. These are all resistant starches that also have fiber in them that when you add to the food, it would help to improve constipation. Also, when you add probiotic, because lack of bacteria could lead to constipation. So you add some probiotic in there, it would also help to improve your constipation issues. Then I'm talking about soluble fibers. Soluble fibers like your psyllium hack, flax seeds, chia seeds. But chia seeds do contain lectin, so if you have inflammatory issues, you want to be careful with a chia seed. You want to use flax seeds instead. These soluble fibers, when you are adding them to your diet and you do not eat them as it is, you want to go low and you start slow. Introduce them a little bit at a time before you bring it to the highest level that you can, because it could bother your stomach and the digestive system if you just introduce them so much at one time. So you want to go low and start slow. And the one thing that I will also say about these soluble fibers is that because they are soluble fibers, if you are currently constipated, like your psyllium hack and stuff, do not drink it. You want to make sure that things are moving before you introduce them in. Because if you do, they could plug things up and you don't want that. So you want to introduce them once things are moving. And then make sure you are drinking enough water, because these fibers will expand and you need water to move things along. And if you do, then it will help to regulate things. If you're having issues with constipation, you go to the bathroom, your stool is very hard, it's telling you need more water. So please drink more water to your stool. It's nice and smooth to come out. Also manage stress, because stress will slow things down. If you don't know how, check out my video, how to manage your stress. You'll be able to know that. Exercise, I cannot stress that enough, because the digestive system have muscles in there and we need exercise to strengthen these muscles. Once you move, things will also move. If you lay around, things will be sluggish and things will be slow. You want to exercise. And then after you've done all these things, what I want you to do is that make sure you add some fats to your diet. Fat itself is really good to help you to move things along, because if you're having issues with constipation, after you cooked your meal, you could put 1 tablespoon of either olive oil or coconut oil on top of the food before you eat it, and it could help improve constipation. Also, make sure you establish a routine. Establishing a routine is very important, because the bowels, the way it is, you need to have some routine around it and it will help you go. For me, when I wake up in the morning, I drink 1 glass of water, and normally that helps me to go. So people say when they drink warm coffee in the morning, it helps them to go. So what I want to say is that find out what helps you to go. If you don't know what helps you to go as it is, please, you could drink 1 glass of water when you wake up in the morning and see if that helps. And if that helps, then you stick to it. Make sure you wake up ahead of time, have enough time to go to the bathroom before you leave the house. But if you don't go and you leave the house, please make sure when you are out there and you have the urge to poop, you go and poop, because this is waste that is ready to come out. Don't hold on to it because, oh, this place that I am, I really don't want to poop. Please, 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 you go out there and poop, because it's that necessary that we do poop to get rid of waste and toxin out of the body. So when you do that, then that will help to improve constipation. So what I want to say is that think about it. If you don't poop, it's like the sewage system in your house is all plugged up and it's backed up. And you could imagine how the house will smell if this should go on for a long period of time. But because, the body, most of the time when these things happen, the body will compensate for a long period of time because before we start to see it replication, sometimes we don't see it right away, so we don't take them serious. But from today going, I want you to take pooping very necessary as you take the foods that you're eating. You're saying to yourself, but Salome, currently I'm constipated, I haven't gone for 3-4 days. What do I do? If you haven't, I would say make sure you get yourself some tap water enema. Make sure you clear things out. Then introduce some vegetables and stuff into your diet to help to establish some regularity. You're saying to yourself, but Salome, I don't know how to do an enema. Well, there are people out there who do colon hydrotherapy that you could Google and find out. Or it's colon hydrotherapy or colonics. These people will help you to clean things out. And when you are done, they will guide you how to introduce vegetable, these soluble fibers into your diet, and make sure you establish some regularity. And that will help your body to help with the weight loss and you feel better overall. I want you to like this video, share it, and subscribe. Until I see you in the next video, remember, this is Ezra Wellness, where you learn proven ways to healthy living. Thank you for your time.